documentaries about Alexander Litvinenko, the Russian. Another interesting story, a man of principle. He joins the KGB that then becomes the FSB, the post-communist equivalent of the Russian secret police. Does very well, but is a man of principle who cares about justice. And he sees things that are being done secretly that he cannot in good conscience live with. And he starts to talk. He's a secret agent, but he starts to talk. And he publishes books. He publishes a book in which he says, actually, the bombing of the apartment buildings in Moscow that the Russians blamed on the Muslim Chechens, it was an inside job. We did it. Man of courage. He has to leave his job, leave everything, endangering himself, becomes a refugee in England. One of the good things about this country is that when the system works, they can still help people like that. But then he's poisoned. You remember the story. In the year 2006, he gets ill, radiation poisoning, polonium-210, hugely expensive. They say it must have cost $5 million just for the small amount of radioactive material that was slipped in his tea. And he gets sicker and sicker. And the journalists are interested, and the politicians are anxious. But he says to his father, as he knows he's going to die, I've become Muslim. Politicians don't know what to do with this added complexity. The journalists certainly don't know how to report this strange thing. But he's a person of principle who cares. The day before he dies, he's in University College Hospital on Euston Road in intensive care, feeling really bad. He says, I want to talk to an imam. There's no Muslims around him, his family are perplexed, his handlers, it's all very strange, this religious thing. I want to talk to an imam. The imam comes, goes past the journalists, goes past the doctors, goes past the minders, the police, etc. He's allowed through. And next to this man who knows that he's passing through those final gates, he recites Surat Yasin and some du'as. And the next day, he dies. And there's nobody around him. This is the situation of many converts. When they die, there's nobody to help them. So he's buried in Highgate Cemetery, a non-Muslim cemetery. There's no Islamic anything on his tombstone. But we can go there. If we're in London, we can go to Highgate North Cemetery and recite a Fatiha. He's an honourable man. So many other stories that we hear here. And we need to be aware of the sacrifices that these people are making. One Muslim in Cambridge I used to know,